From OldCamReview.com. It's been a while since I've been here to do any reviews, so I'm going to do a bunch of reviews all at once. Well, not in depth, but we're going to go through some stuff here. And what I'm going to show you guys today are cheap cameras with great lenses that you could be had for, I don't know, let's say $50 and under on a pretty regular basis. All right, so we'll be right back. Okay. All right, well guys, here's our first camera, and let me just say that the reviews I'm going to do today are not going to be in depth. I'm going to give you kind of a general overview of the camera. I'm not going to give you specific, specs or anything like that, a couple here and there. But these are just some cameras to get you started. If you want to get into film photography, you want a decent camera with a good lens that you don't want to spend a lot of money. These cameras that I'm going to show you can generally be found for, $50 and under. Some of them maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less by, a couple bucks. But if you keep your eye out, you should be able to pick these up, again, under $50. And then, if you go to thrift shops and stuff, maybe even cheaper, So keep your eyes out, but I just wanted to give you, something to look out for. The first camera I'm going to show you today is the Mamiya U or the Olympus Stylus Epic. This is a perennial favorite. People really like this camera. The prices got really high on them for a while, and they seem to have come down a bit. And it really is a good camera. It's an excellent camera, actually. It's modeled by Olympus. It's got this sliding door, or the capsule style, and opens up to a nice 35mm f2.8 lens. And the lens is super sharp. It really is. It's a good lens. There's a little vignetting on the side, on the edges. Not too bad at all, but good quality camera. They're considered to be an all-weather camera, and again, if they're this old, I don't know how much they're going to actually stand up to weather, but they're solidly built. It's a good camera, and can be had. Usually I see them for around 50 or 60 bucks. So your mileage may vary, might be a little bit more money, may not. So, but keep your eye out. Generally the gold ones or the champagne colored ones go for a little less than the black ones. The black ones are a bit more desirable for some reason. Anyway, the one drawback to this camera I will let you know, and may be sort of bothersome, is that when you turn on the camera, no matter what, the flash is set to on. So it requires 2 presses on the back of the flash button to shut off the flash. So every time you shut off the camera, turn it on, if you want to shut off the flash, you have to hit the flash button twice. Kind of a pain. It's really sort of an annoying thing, but it's that's what you get with the camera. So, but other than that, the lens is great, superior lens, and really good quality camera, relatively quiet, and very, very comfortable hold, easily pocketable, full frame, 35mm in your pocket. How cool is that? All right, so that's the Olympus Stylus Epic, also known as the Mamiya U in Japan. So anyway, that's it. Next camera we have, again, it's one of my personal favorites, is the Nikon L35 AF. I do have an in-depth review of this camera. These cameras, for a long time, were selling for about $30, $35. If you check on that auction website, they're starting to go for a lot more money. You can still get them in the $50 range, but the prices are definitely steadily rising on this. Not a quiet camera, but very high quality. Excellent lens. It does have built-in flash, and the flash will pop up automatically. So, but you have the option just to push it down. It's actually easier to cancel the flash out on this than it is on the Olympus Stylus Epic. But fantastic lens, great contrast, great sharpness. I think personally a better lens than the Stylus Epic, but a bigger, noisier platform, certainly. Definitely comfortable camera to hold and use and all that stuff. Again, this is one of my all-time favorite cameras, period. Absolutely love it. So that's the Nikon L35 AF. Again, get them now, get them while you can. The price is steadily rising on these. People are starting to figure out how good these things really are. So that's another good one in my opinion. Next up, sort of in that same sort of range, is the Canon SureShot Classic 120. It's a zoom lens, a 38 to 120 zoom. It has a automatic flash as well. You turn it on, the flash extends, and obscenely long looking zoom, but very sharp lens, great for daylight outside. Recommended. If you want to disable the flash, you just push it in and hold it there. You can also, you know, it has some personal settings you can set so the flash is off. It does spot metering, has a macro mode, sports mode, also some of those kinds of modes here. And you can set all those. Diopter adjustment, which is really nice for those of us who wear glasses. And kind of a cool looking little point and shoot. Most of the cameras here I'm going to discuss, they are point and shoots. There are DSLRs and stuff that you can get for cheap, and I'm going to show you one of those. But again, good quality camera, nice sharp lens. Again, this one's, I would recommend mostly for outdoor daylight. I'm not crazy about onboard flash, just in general. But if you're looking for a decent camera, it can be had inexpensively, around 50 or under. The Sure Shot Classic 120 from Canon is an excellent choice. If you need the zoom, again, slower lens because of the zoom. Next up, these are kind of fun. These are a little harder to find, and but you may end up really enjoying them, and I really like the design. I'm going to do a full review on this camera actually, but right now I'm just going to give you sort of a quick overview. This is the Agfa Optima 1035 sensor, or the Optimus sensor, and this is the model 1035. Zone focusing camera here, so you would select one, you know, one subject, two subjects, three subjects. That shows up in the giant viewfinder. The viewfinder on this is huge. If you wear glasses and have trouble seeing, this is, you're not going to have any trouble with this. This thing, the viewfinder on here is massive. f2.8 lens up to f22, really nice. Automatic shutter speed. Some really innovative features on this camera, which I'll go through in the actual review. Yeah, this is a pretty cool little camera. You may want to check one of these out. Very cool German styling as well. I really like it. Giant shutter button, which is you know, makes it easy to hold and use, and you can see through it. And wow, just what a cool little camera. Very happy with these, and a really nice little lens on these. So big fan of these. Next up, this is the Mamiya U. This camera is probably one of the cheapest built, I guess, good cameras I've seen in a long time. This thing is just, it's so fragile and very easily broken. You got to be really careful with the camera is not built very well, to be honest. Kind of an interesting look. One thing you need to be aware of when buying these cameras is that all of the shutter buttons on these, where there was a little rubber dot, that is like turned to goop. The rubber just completely disintegrates. I haven't seen a single one that has an intact shutter button. But this is a kind of a cool little camera with a really nice lens. Mamiya made a great lens with this. Thumb wind, you know, wind on for it. The shutter button's here. Open up the lens. Again, zone focusing. It gives you a pretty good diagram here, though. That's your infinity focus. And it gives you distance in meters, and it shows you sort of a diagram of people, you know, how many people you're photographing in the picture. So if you're doing a close-up, it's, you know, that's 1 meter, about 3 feet away. 1.5 meters to give you 2 people in your photo, etc. So it goes on like that. Adjustable ASA manually, you know, nice little viewfinder, pretty clear. Not a lot of information, not a lot of bells and whistles. It does have a flash. I don't like flash, but you have it, so it's there. Nice little point and shoot. Really not a bad little camera. Again, 35mm lens, f2.8, reasonably fast, and you really can find these around for, you know, 50 and under, if you can find them. They're kind of hard to find though. So interesting camera. So definitely like it, the Mamiya U. So keep your eye out for that one. Next up, let's see here. These are an old favorite of mine. I don't think, I might be one of the only people who really likes these, but I think they're awesome cameras. This was my first sort of, I thought it was a serious camera at the time. It was a bridge camera, what they called a prosumer camera. At the time, it's, you know, for somebody who wanted sort of SLR feel but didn't want to buy a bunch of lenses. I think these were great cameras. This is the Olympus IS series. This is the first one, the IS1. Actually, really comfortable ergonomic grip. I have the extended grip on this one. So for me, it's very comfortable to hold. It looks like a video camera from the 80s. But it is a 35 millimeter still camera. It has a built-in flash, two-stage flash, and then it also has a hot shoe for a proprietary flash from Olympus, which you could use, which is cool. All the sort of DSLR operations, you have exposure compensation, you've got different shooting modes, program mode, and aperture priority, shutter priority mode. You can use a power focus, so you can manually focus using motorized focus here. It's got a zoom, and the zoom is a 35 to 135. It's a fairly slow lens though, f4.5 to 5.6. The lenses in here are, in my opinion, just phenomenal. I love the Olympus lenses in these. I think the pictures that they take, I think, are just really, really nice. They do contain ED elements, which will give you that really nice contrast. That sort of, the ED coating is sort of the equivalent to the Zeiss T-Star coatings and stuff like that. Fully battery operated camera. This camera will not do anything without batteries, and mine does not have any batteries in it, so it will not do anything. The only caveat with the IS1 is it does have unusually slow focusing. It is usable if you're doing stills and you know, landscape and stuff like that. I think you'll be okay with it, but it is pretty slow to focus. It has a decent viewfinder, a lot of information on the viewfinder. It tells you, you know, your aperture and shutter speed and all that stuff, and you can go completely manual with this as well. You know, it has a macro mode, so you can get close, continuous. I think it's like 1 frame a second or 1 frame every 2 seconds, so it's not super fast, but you know, a pretty complete camera, and you can get these all day long for 25, 30 bucks. So you want good quality lenses, and all in one, you don't want to go out and buy a whole bunch of glass and stuff like that. This is definitely a decent camera, and they're built, although it's an all plastic construction, they're built like tanks. So I highly recommend that. And in the IS range as well, I don't have the IS2, but I do have the IS3. The IS3 actually is a monster compared to the IS1. It's much bigger camera, much heavier camera. A lot more features though, as far as you know, faster autofocus, stuff like that. This has a 35 to 180 zoom lens, and it does have the ED glass as well, so you're going to get really nice shots out of this. It does have you know, the zoom, macro mode, all the same other stuff, same stuff like that. Still has the dual stage flash with the hot shoe here. So any of your, if you upgrade from the IS1 to the IS3, all of your accessories, except for the telephoto, you know, and wide lens adapters, you can get those for these. Those aren't transferable from one to the other, but you know, all the same modes and stuff like that. You can do program shift, you can, you know, exposure compensation, all that stuff. Again, super zoom on this one. Again, 35 to 180 here, and it has a stepped motor, so you can go, you can zoom very slowly either way, and then if you need quick zoom, you just further depress the button and get faster zooming. So it is pretty precise. It's not too bad. Again, 35 to 180 gives you good good range. Zoomed out to 180, you know, zoomed in on a closer portrait, you're going to get some nice bokeh actually, or bokeh. I don't use bokeh. I think bokeh sounds better even if it's wrong. So yeah, definitely a good, another good quality camera, heavy, durable, and you know, these again can be found. I don't have any film in here. Yeah. So yeah, this thing actually focuses pretty quick. Yeah, it's pretty fast. Here, let's see. I'll actually focus on some stuff. Yep. So I'll focus again. Yeah, so it's pretty fast. It's actually a pretty usable camera. The only problem with this camera is it's massive. I mean, this thing is huge. Look at the size of that. Here, and then I'll bring up one of the, here's the stylus. That is ridiculous. I mean, this camera is just huge, but I don't know. I mean, it's fun. You know, it's a good heavy camera. Even with the slower lens, this is a, let's see, what do we have here? 4.5 to 5.6, so it's a pretty slow lens, but the camera's so heavy, you might be able to actually shoot at those lower shutter speeds without any camera shake. I'm focused on my tripod. Yeah, you're not going to get really any camera shake, so you can actually maybe even be a little steadier by, you know, 1-2 stops, who knows, I don't know. So yeah, great camera, but just massive camera. So I mean, you're walking around with that thing, it's like a boat anchor, but super quality pictures you're going to get out of it. I don't think you would be disappointed with the photographs out of this. Again, but just a beast to carry around. Anyway, my last camera for my cheap cameras, this is the Ashika FX3. And this camera, you see them all day long for about 50 bucks. And it is a good quality camera. It's an SLR, manual wind, manual everything. So the only thing that is automated on it, well, it's not automated, but it does have a light meter that's built in. So you can press here and get your exposure check. And all it is it's a 3-light system, over, under, and in, and properly exposed. So, but you know, you don't have to carry around a meter with it. When you're looking for these though, you will notice that the covering or the leather on them is always just trashed and peeling apart and look like garbage. I just took mine off. I'm gonna actually order a new covering from cameraleather.com at some point and recover this and kind of pimp it out a little bit. But it's, yeah, it's a great camera, and it does have that Contax Yashica mount. So this Yashica will take all of the Contax RTS, you know, RTS3 lenses, all that stuff. No autofocus, all manual focus. But the lens that's on here is the Yashica 50mm 1.9, which is reasonably fast and a really nice lens, actually. So I think you will enjoy this camera. It's pretty smooth operation. It's a cheaper camera, but it's a good SLR, and for the money, for like 25-30 bucks, again, I don't think you can go wrong with one of these. I mean, the lens itself, usually, you know, if you find just one of the lenses, it'd be like 50 bucks. So if you end up spending 50 or 60 for an FX3, it's definitely worth it. These might go for a little bit more sometimes, but I know you can find them around. So, and they usually go cheap because, again, the leather on them is usually falling apart. So just strip that down and get rid of the leather and put something new on there, and you've got a pretty sweet little rig. So that's it. Again, nothing in depth on any of these cameras, but I just wanted to give you a good overview and get you people started shooting some film with some decent cameras with decent lenses. There's lots more cameras out there, guys. You may find something cheaper, still might be a good camera, but you know, these are some of the ones that I got really cheap and see them fairly cheap on a consistent basis, and I would recommend any of them to anyone. You just need to know what you're shooting, what you're looking for, and everybody's going to tell me, oh, why didn't you go for the Pentax Spotmatic? Well, you might be able to get a Pentax Spotmatic cheap, and those are great cameras too, but it's just not the camera that I particularly go for. If you love the Spotmatics, go with the Spotmatic. I don't know why I'm picking on the Spotmatic. It's an awesome camera, but usually those are going for a little bit more money. But there's lots of cameras out there, guys. Look around, see what you like, see what speaks to you. You know, see if you can go for a faster lens, or if you want a point and shoot, go for a point and shoot. If you want a rangefinder, the Ashikas are great. Some people don't like them. I like them. They'll say, "Oh, go for the Canon QL17." Well, you know, Canon QL17 now is selling for almost 200 bucks, 150, 100 bucks. It's a lot more money. So go for something cheap. Go for the Ashika, or go for, you know, just play around with what you like. You want a rangefinder, get a cheap rangefinder. I just picked up a Minolta Hi-Matic F. You know, it's a point and shoot rangefinder, but wow, what a cool little camera. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that out now. Hang on one second. I'm gonna add a camera late. Here it is. I just picked this up. I love this little camera. This is the Minolta Hi-Matic F. Little rangefinder, actual rangefinder, so you have that split image focusing. It's got a Rockor 2.7 38mm lens, so you know, cool little street photography camera. really nice. It is an you know, battery operated camera. The shutter operates off batteries. You can still get some batteries. I'll actually have to add some information on which batteries to get and stuff like that, but it takes a weird battery and you got to do some funky stuff. But I actually will do a full review on this at some point, so I'll give you more information. But anyway, just pick up what you like. Don't worry about it. You want to try a rangefinder? Try a rangefinder. If you want to point and shoot. I don't know. Get out there and shoot, guys. Enjoy the cameras. They're all fun. Don't be a camera snob and say, oh, I only must shoot this and whatever. Anyway, shoot, enjoy yourself. Anyway, that's it, Brian Old Cam Review. I have a lot more reviews coming, hopefully. I know I've been really bad. It's been months since I've given you anything. I've just been really busy, a lot of weird stuff going on with my job and blah, 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 blah. But I am back. So enjoy the reviews. Nothing in depth here, but I will have more in-depth stuff coming. That's it. Thanks, Old Cam Review. Please like, subscribe. You guys are awesome. Love doing these. Glad to be back. All right, that's it. Thanks. Bye.